The Jeff Meacham Network's multiverse of media. For over 15 years, the recognized symbol of excellence and the standard bearer in coverage of sports and entertainment.
What is going on, everybody? Happy Thursday. I can't remember what day I'm on. Thursday night. It is Talk Wrestling. We are on NoDQ.com. We are across the multiverse of media. Again, happy Thursday for some of us. Some of us, not so much. It's been kind of a tough day, but we're going to get into all of that right now. Shout out to everybody in the chat room who was here prior to us coming live. We had Matthew, we had Daniel, we had Marshall, we had Atomic Cody, we had Daniel, we had Mohammed, and we had Mr. Mansfield. So hello, Brendo, as well. So I'm not even asking what we're going to talk about. What do you want to talk about? Because I have what we're going to talk about, and we are going to get to the releases because that is the hot topic of the day. So we will get to those in just a short. Again, keep your comments relevant to what we're talking about on screen at the moment, and we will definitely get to your the topics because we're going to talk first about the announcement that came out early this morning. Yes, indeed. No, JJ, indeed. That WWE is going to be not only returning to Australia for an event, but a premium live event and one of their signature live events at that. The Elimination Chamber is going down under Saturday night, for probably morning for us here in the United States, February 24th, 2024, now been added to our watch along lineup coming up early next year in February. So yet another night of work for the Jeff Meacham Network Multiverse Media team. Very excited to call that, have that be called, I should say, by Noah and JJ, my WWE team. A little bit off on the timing considering one of the releases today. We'll talk about that individual later, of course. But I do like that they are starting to hint at that WrestleMania may be a possibility at in London or overseas somewhere. It was talked about very, very heavily back at Money in the Bank when John Cena came out and was encouraging the crowd to demand that. And we now have a premium event that's not Australia exclusive like the old global the Global World Tour. I forget the actual name of the show. Forgive me. Global Warning, I think is what the name of the show was. Forgive me if I'm wrong on that. But that was Australia exclusive. They had the one night only. They had the No Mercy UK. They had shows that were exclusive to the territory they were showing the shows in. But now, Elimination Chamber will be live across Peacock, across the WWE Network, and covered across the multiverse for all to see coming up on February 24th. So the likelihood of WrestleMania being outside of North America is very much more a possibility than it ever has been, at least for my money, my fandom. So I look forward to that being a thing in the future with WWE going global again. They had the big national expansion in the 80s, the global expansion, and now they're seeming like they're going to take their premium events outside of North America. We've had events in Europe. We're still waiting on the announcement of the NXT Europe brand. Hopefully we'll get that. We don't know. This camera is crooked as a politician. Good Lord. A little bit better. Stay. Thank you. So I look forward to it. I look forward to WrestleMania being at, the O2, at Wembley, at, maybe the Tokyo Dome. Maybe, there are always possibilities as long as there is a stadium or a oversized arena, however you want to phrase it, somewhere in the world. WWE can set up a WrestleMania presentation. It's possible. They've done SummerSlam at Wembley. They've done shows around the world. So hopefully we will get that. We also heard today that the the house that Roman Reigns has built in his own name and shaped in his own image. SmackDown will be returning to the USA Network coming up next fall, October 2024. And so all of the primary, for lack of a better term, WWE shows, Raw, NXT, and now SmackDown, will all be on the USA Network for the first time, I think, ever, because NXT was on USA when SmackDown was. I think NXT was still network only at that point, as far as the WWE Network. Yeah, 5-year deal, $1.4 billion over those 5 years. Significantly more money than Fox had been offering, had been shilling out, if you will. So congrats to WWE. Again, people might not agree with the creative, but the business has never been hotter. Business is booming. And it's hard to argue with straight stats, straight numbers, right? And again, we don't know for sure if Raw or NXT are going to be on USA. I still am the only one that had a major bitch about, no WWE on the upfronts this year, but nobody seemed to pay attention. Now that SmackDown, oh, it's a big story now. So, all of a sudden, Jeff looks like the smartest freaking dude in the room, right? What are you going to do? On the flip side of all this great business and stuff, their report came out not too long after the first round of releases this morning that Vince McMahon may indeed be on his way out again. There was a lot of talk about, when the merger went down, and there was talk from within that that his presence in the company would be a deterrent to, the basic harmony of the company, and especially if they're going to have more people involved within the infrastructure as far as bringing people from Endeavor, UFC. Vince's presence anywhere in the corporate setting is definitely off-putting. He is a lightning rod for controversy. He always has been, whether it's on television in the Mr. McMahon role or as the head of the company. And he's, he definitely is not universally loved. So if I'm Vince, and again, I'm not Vince McMahon. I don't claim to be, I don't want to be. There's a lot of drama there. But at the end of the day, I want my company to succeed, even if it's out of my hands, because that will be the legacy that he leaves behind. Not, if the company does tank because of his refusal to loosen his grip on it, and they fail, even after this gigantic merger and this big corporate restructuring, if it fails, it still falls on him. And I don't want to, I refuse to let myself believe that would be what Vince McMahon wants. Mr. McMahon be all about that. But Vince McMahon, the person, the head of the company, I can't see that being a thought process in his head, that he would purposely want the company to tank just because he's not the guy, right? And I can't make myself believe it, so I'm not going to. But it'll be interesting to see how it plays out here the next little while. We knew that when the merger, the joining of companies was finalized, there'd be some layoffs, there'd be some releases, there'd be some terminations. A lot of people lost their jobs last and this week between the office and now the talent themselves, and we will get to the talent. So let's do that. But before I do, since I'm on no DQ, I'm going to go ahead and take advantage of the opportunity to do a little shilling. And we're going to start with our buddy Big Baller G. And we're actually taking that back. We're going to start with what's coming up on our next Open Mic Night special for October and through next year. So check out that. Then we'll hear from our friends at Parker King Promotions, and then we'll come back.
pals, Alyssa Marino here, and as a friend of Parker Kane Promotions, I am super excited to share the awesomeness that they've got in store for you this November at WrestleCade. You'll be seeing the world-traveling Capital Championship Wrestling Global Fighting Champ Rebecca J. Scott, a rising star who's been featured on Ladies Night Out, MCW, and more, the stunner Emily J., an internationally traveled talent who you've seen on NXT UK and Stardom, Angel of the Ring Zaya Brookside, and NWA World Women's Tag Team Champion, Chicago's sweetheart Missa Kate, will also be appearing live. It's all going down WrestleCade weekend in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. You can catch these stars brought to you by Parker Kane Promotions on Saturday, November 25th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And be sure to stick around for Ladies Night Out the following day on Sunday, November 26th. You can get your WrestleCade weekend tickets at WrestleCade.com.
Thank you, Alyssa. Good friend of the channel. Love Alyssa. She's awesome. So check that out over at Parker Kane Productions for all of the information. All right. And again, I want to thank everybody across the multiverse. Every single channel we broadcast on is watching right now in one way or another. So we thank you all for watching at home or wherever you're watching. If you're watching at work, be careful. Don't get caught. Get your boss to yell at you. All right. So let's do this. Quite the ticker here. Let me bring up because I want to make sure I get all the names. These are the names. They are not hidden to protect the innocent because they're not innocent by God. We know what's happening. All right. Again, these are confirmed by the talent themselves. In the case of Mr. Ziggler, it is through people like John Cena who have talked about it, and our buddy Carlin Bates have talked about it. But yeah, there it is. I mean, just a boatload of people that have been released. And again, Boogs is a rumored release. Dana Brooke was talked about today. A lot of people that have been at the Performance Center. Shelton Benjamin confirmed his release today. Mustafa Ali, who was supposed to be an NXT North American Championship match coming up here in Bakersfield in a few days. At No Mercy. That one surprised me because it's in a program, which shows they don't really care who's on TV right now or not. Aaliyah, Emma, Tina Dashwood, Riddick Moss, both, they're a couple. They're both out of a job now. Top Dava, no surprise there for me. Shelton Benjamin surprised me only because of the ability to bring him as a coach. Elias, again, Ziggler mentioned earlier. Kevin Ventura Cortez from the PC, Alexis Gray from the PC, Quincy Elliott, Shanky, Daniel MacArthur, Masse, and Mansoor both gone. Confirmed, and again, the rumored releases we discussed. Dana Brooke, I think, more bums me out than surprises me, and I'm trying to show her shit power right there. I just didn't have it, but anyway. Dana surprised me because I still, even now, think she has tremendous upside and potential. And they were both, doing good things on NXT, but, to be fair, Ali has a championship match and was supposed to have a championship match in whatever it is, 10 days, 9 days. Wasn't even on NXT TV this week. So what the hell? These things happen. It's unfortunate, right? I talked about it during our stream earlier and prior to Aaron's stream and after Aaron's stream when we have the two different streams. These kind of days always suck. Again, I'm personally hopeful for my friend Nick Nemeth. He, has the chance to creatively spread his wings outside of wrestling, which I know he has the potential to do. Talk about his comedy, and everything he has going. But a lot of these guys and gals, wrestling is what they know. Wrestling is what they do. And it's going to be interesting to see how everything plays out and lays out here in the next little while with all these people that have been let go today. I still, even now, if it's true that Rick Boogs has been fired or released, excuse me, I don't know if the gimmick will, translate anywhere else. besides WWTV, but that guy's just got solid mass to him, and he's got potential to be just a great in-ring presence. Riddick Moss, same thing. Riddick Moss was a badass before they, madcapped him. Elias, people, have cracked on the Elias gimmick, including me, for a long time, but I really think that Elias, has the potential to do well outside WWE. I'll tell you right now, I would take Tennille Dashwood, I would take Dana, Ashley, whatever you want to call her, and I would bring Tennille back to Impact Wrestling and bring Dana in and pair them up. Put them back together on television. They were together in NXT for the longest time prior to and during the feuding with Asuka. So that, that's cool. Bring in Aaliyah for that. She's got amazing potential. She's such a baby. She's so young. Riddick Moss, bring him to Impact to be with his significant other. The kids in the PC, again, they've been in the PC. That's what they've been doing. So, they will land on their feet somewhere. Masay and Mansoor, my God, those two guys have been through it, haven't they? Same with Top Dollar. Say what you will about AJ Francis, Top Dollar, not AJ Francis. I forget his last name. Sorry. Top Dollar, the whole flop dollar with the whole over the top rope thing. But that kid's a fan, and he just wanted it, and it just didn't work out for him, and it sucks. And then, Masay and Mansoor, again, they just got saddled with horse shit, carrying it in a freaking pouch. It was awful. Maxine escaped from that, thank goodness for her. And of course, our buddy L.A. Knight, escaped from that quickly and became LA Knight again. So luckily, he and Maxine both escaped from it. JJ, by the way, sent me a picture from Impact 1000 of Coach D'Amore with AMW, with EY, with Frankie, and with Sabin. Just a great. I have been so happy watching Impact 1000 last weekend tonight. Just seeing all the awesome people involved from the past and from the present of Impact Wrestling. And there is a bright future for Impact. So I'm looking forward to their future. I'm looking forward to a lot of these guys and gals going to Impact, going to AEW, and doing something. I think if either company, Impact or AEW, does not get their hands on Shelton Benjamin in a coaching role or some sort of mentor role, they have missed not only the boat, the entire shipyard. Shelton Benjamin is still great now, and he's got such a mind for the technical aspect of wrestling / sports entertainment, for being honest, that he has the potential for greatness in that role of coach, producer, whatever you want to call it within wrestling. I made the comment, it came off dickish even when I read it back, that, unfortunately, a lot of these kids, I'm calling them kids because they're younger than me, most of them, are going to just kind of be like a fire sale. Like they're going to go wherever they feel or whatever company is going to give them what they're worth. And a lot of these kids are still developing, right? They're still in the process of finding out who they are as a wrestler, as a sports entertainer. And now they're not going to get the opportunity to do it on a stage. They're going to have to kind of reset and start from scratch. You look at people like, Montana and Dabakato and Lisa Leone and all the people that have only been in the PC. And then there's the veterans. Again, I still say Dana has the chance. Dana, Tennille, and Aaliyah all have the chance to do something great as a Impact Wrestling knockout. That's the way I think it should go. Mustafa Ali, I would love to see him continue in wrestling. It just seems like to me that his wrestling career is snake bit. And if I were him, I would take a step back and try to reassess what I want my life to be. People like Riddick Moss, people like Boogs, they're just young and just full of P&V and just have that opportunity to harness what they have been unable to display on WWE television, and show it off to the world in AEW, in Impact, hell, overseas, New Japan, some of the European promotions. And, this doesn't need to be the end of something. Mike Bennett talked about it earlier on social. A couple other people sent out some messages. Cody Rhodes left WWE of his own accord 7 years ago, and he came back. Drew McIntyre got released and was able to come back and carry the company through the pandemic year. Just got handed a pile of shit and made a beautiful centerpiece food display out of it. Chelsea Green been released a couple times, and now she's getting activity not only on television but on social media, as this character that she's developed. I think it's so cool for Chelsea. So it's not the end of the line by any means for any of them. It's just an opportunity to, again, take that step back and reevaluate what it is you want to do with your life, in your career. And Josh, I can't disagree with that. It's been a long, tiring week, if I'm being honest with you. Josh, since you're watching, I haven't had a chance to talk to you yet, Josh. We're going to take a brief wrestling break for you non nerds at home. Josh, check this out. Let's see if I can. There we go. Josh, I'm going to bring it up on screen. I got to build this yesterday at Disneyland, out at Galaxy's Edge. And where's it there? Where's the button? Who's on the button? So there you go. But yeah, it's really interesting, Josh. There you go, brother. There you go. And yes, Josh, we can talk off air if you're not too tired afterwards. I finally got to watch this week's Ahsoka. It took me 2.5 to 3 days, but I finally watched the goddamn episode. Thank you. JJ makes a great point. I think Mustafa Ali would be great this is really in my face and really looks bad out of context. Damn, lightsaber can never have a good place for it. He would be a great X Division wrestler. Absolutely agree with that. I think he's got the ability to carry off an X Division match, and he's got to have a personality where he wouldn't be pigeonholed only into it, right? So I agree wholeheartedly with that. Again, it's just one of those, you hate to see it. You hate to see anybody. You hate to see anybody lose a job. You hate to see anybody lose the opportunity to do what they've loved the most. So again, since the chat room's talking about it, I went with Violet. I originally had yellow picked out because in another universe I am a Hufflepuff student, but I took a few quizzes just to kind of give myself a better idea, and more than half of the results came up Violet. So I'm like, okay, we're going Violet for the Kyber Crystal. So there you go. So that's what we're doing as far as that goes. But yeah, I'd be lying if the influence of Master Windu didn't put me on that path. Now I'm not going to take my lightsaber and have, granted, Sammy didn't ask for this, but I'm not going to engrave BMF right here or JMN or whatever, but it's still about, this thing is twitching like hell. Stop that. That's not that of you. Is it just, hang on. It's making too much noises. I don't like it. Okay. It's making sure. Anyway. So, I only hope with everybody you're seeing here on the ticker that they all land on their feet. I think Mustafa Ali will, if he wants to continue wrestling. I know Aaliyah and Emma and Rick Moss and Shelton, if he wants to continue, Elias, Ziggler, if he wants to continue wrestling. But Ziggler will be good whatever he does, right? The kids I don't know, I honestly don't know if they'll, what they'll go. Boogs, I think, has potential to, succeed in WWE. Dana Brooke, God, if they just put her and Tennille together in Impact, it would be so awesome. But for the majority of the people, they will have to take this and just, control to delete, hit restart, and find a way to make yourself, take the Cody route. Go from the undesirable to undeniable. So there you go. That's what you do. It's really that simple. Just take the Cody Rhodes route, make yourself so undeniable that either WWE has to hire you back or another company can't help but snap you up. Yeah. Shanky and Top Dollar, I don't see them, especially Top Dollar. I think he was such a fan of WWE that I don't see him wanting to be a wrestler. I think he always wanted to be a sports entertainer within WWE. Shanky, I have no clue about. All I will remember Shanky for is the whole dancing thing at ringside with, I think, Samantha Urban. So yeah, but everybody else has that potential. In my humble opinion, as a 30-year plus fan, as a 20-year plus podcaster, streamer, whatever you want to call it, to do great things. But we shall see. I think the releases are going to continue. Maybe not tomorrow, but I don't think the bloodletting is done. And I hate to put it so, crassly or however you want to call it, but there are a lot of people on that roster that just don't have anything to do, and creative has nothing for them. Then let them go. Shanky's got the look where he could end up in AEW, possibly with Team Jarrett. Satnam Singh, for all of his presence, doesn't do a whole lot. Shanky could be that guy. Shanky's got more of maneuverability in the ring than Singh does, so he could do that. Who's to come? Who knows? I would have said for sure, I would have believed they wouldn't release Shelton because they could have had him be a coach or a producer or whatever. So people long tenured like Ron Killings, anybody that's been in the company. I mean, God, we talked about it earlier, with Randy Orton being back to the PC, Riddle might not be in as much danger as one would think. But you just never know. You just don't. So hopefully we will get either we're done or the news will just keep going. At the end of the day, you want to keep certain individuals around. Ron Killings, he's been a friend of the channel for over 20 years before I even had my own channel. And just he's got that certain factor about him, man. Making everybody in the locker room crack up, breaking Brock Lesnar on the air when he did it when he was 24/7 champion was just tremendous. So yeah, I think, I don't want to speculate because I don't want to put it out there for any friends in the company or people in the industry that I admire so much, but I hope that the releases are over. I truly do. But what is not over is our workload here at the Jeff Meacham Network, Multiverse Media. For tomorrow, we will be back with yet another watch along as we have our coverage of Rampage Grand Slam across the Multiverse Media. Oh yes, we will be live shortly before 10 o'clock Eastern. I know that the things at 10 o'clock Eastern, that's when the show is going to start itself over on TNT. Again, check out our coverage with Noah and JJ on the call again. Let's see what else. And then, of course, coming up on Saturday, as we do every Saturday, open mic night hosted by JJ. I know. Oh, wow. That's wonderful. That's just cool. You can go. Bye-bye. Thank you. Appreciate you. Idiot. Okay. So I didn't see that JJ comment. So bear with me. Let me go back to that and then go back to that. Coverage beginning for Rampage at 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific. So they'll be on the air with a half-hour little, for lack of a better term, pre-show. Probably talk more about if any more releases go down, because I will not be available tomorrow. I will be primarily at the edge of the galaxy tomorrow, but I'll also be with my friends from Vegas who are already in town. Saw me on Disney earlier, so it's going to be awesome. Very, very cool. That's I get to be part of that. But again, Saturday night open mic nights, and then we're back on semi-regular schedule, I guess, next week with I actually work more next week. We'll talk all about that in the next week or so. But please show some love to the Custodian Studios and the Greg Cherry brand and all of our brands with super chats if they are enabled, with the liking and the sharing and the turning on of the notification bells if they're not, or the montage not, turn on the alerts, because we all need the views, we all need the support, we all appreciate the support that you guys at home give us, you guys watching at work, and there shouldn't be shame on you, do. So thank you all again very much for watching this week's episode of Talk Wrestling. And that's really it for me, to be honest with you. I kind of said my piece earlier, but I did want to have Talk Wrestling go out there to the No DQ Galaxy. So thank you all for watching on NoDQ.com. Thank you all for still, even now, all the channels watching. Thank you very much, guys. We will see you next week right here on Talk Wrestling. Until then, have a wonderful. Oh, wait. Well, there you go. Forgot all about that. Beginning. Here we go. I actually had that graphic, Jay. Give me 1 second. You caught me, Jay. You caught me before I hit the button. You got it in just in time. Where did it go? There it is. Boop. So tomorrow or Saturday, Noah and JJ are going to start canning the road to WrestleMania. What does that mean, Jeff? That means exclusively in the member section of Custodian Studios, beginning in February. Wait for it. Oh, look at that. Isn't that something? Yes, sir. Beginning in February, they will have watch-alongs of every single night of WrestleMania, right up to WrestleMania 40 on April 6th. So there you go. That's what's coming up in the future over on the Casa. But the immediate future is me saying goodnight. Have a wonderful night. Have a great Friday and weekend. And we'll see you next week right here on the Jeff Meacham Network.
The Jeff Meacham Network's Multiverse of Media. For over 15 years, the recognized symbol of excellence and the standard bearer in coverage of sports and entertainment.